channel. My name is Anna. I am Moscow-based tour guide and the founder of iGuide Moscow Travel Guide Project. And today I'm coming to you with another video, and we are going to cover all these major, like tips and tricks on how to travel to Russia. I got tons of questions from my travelers before, prior to their visit. They're texting, emailing me, asking is it safe, as I addressed in my previous video, how to use transport, what are the main rules, currency, climate. So let's just go and explore all these major topics you are probably interested in before you plan your trip to Moscow or any other Russian city. Alright, so first things first, let's start with weather. The most requested issue, is it that really cold in Moscow? This infamous Russian winter, is that really cold out there? Well, the answer is yes. In winter it can be really cold, but let's start with this question: what is the best time to travel to Moscow or any other Russian cities? The best travel time starts with May. It's when the springtime comes here, and then up to the end of October, because in September and October we have this beautiful Indian summer season, and in April it still can be a bit cold. So I really recommend you to plan your trip starting with the mid or end of April up to the end of October. And then comes this off-travel season. November is the worst month you can think of traveling to Russia, because it's still not snowy here, it can be gloomy. And it's not really a cliche, Russian winter is really very cold. It can be up to, minus 20 or even lower. December and January are perfect if you want to see this iconic Russian winter fairy tale, because Moscow and St. Petersburg are both so beautifully decorated with all these Christmas trees and Christmas ornaments all around. We have this fantastic, beautiful Christmas market in front of GUM department store in Red Square. So we have a lot of things to do here. Just take your extra coat, take your extra scarf, and some warm clothes and warm boots, and don't be scared. November and March are actually two worst months if you want to visit Moscow or St. Petersburg, because it's still not, November is still not winter, but it's already gloomy and the weather is really bad. It's it can be rainy and it can be really very cold out there. And in March is still winter, because people think, hey, March can be a spring out there, but it's not. In Russia, March is still a part of winter season. Once again, put it in a nutshell, if you're planning your visit to Russia depending on climate, I really recommend, if you want to see summertime, then from May to, or the end of April to up to October, the end of October. And if you want to see this very beautiful Russian winter, then come here in December and January. Now moving to transport. So the most convenient and easy way how you can get from your airport to the hotel or the city center is to take this speed train that is called Aeroexpress. It runs every 30 minutes from major airports, which are Sheremetyevo, Domodedovo and Vnukovo. So every 30 minutes new train comes, and the journey takes about 40 minutes. It's very easy, it's very convenient, and the train comes to one of the major train stations in the city center, and then comes metro, or you can take a taxi from the train station depending how far your hotel or apartment is located. Aeroexpress trains run every 30 minutes up to midnight. You can buy tickets either on the website, then you can find a discount out there, or you can buy tickets in the airport, which is very convenient. That's what I do. You can also take a taxi from the airport if you not about this fast taking luggage to the Aeroexpress train. You want to feel more comfortable, but you're not against spending some extra time in Moscow traffic, because all the streets are pretty jammed all the time. So if you take a taxi, I recommend you to use either Uber app, or we have this Yandex Taxi app, or Wheelie. I'll put all the links to these apps down below in the description box so you can download them prior to your trip. This Uber and Yandex app, they are really very affordable if you want to use taxi. Just keep in mind that Moscow is all about like really bad traffic. Another method of transport in Moscow, and in my personal opinion, the most convenient one is Moscow Metro. Well, first, it's so beautiful. It's another reason for you to use it because it's so opulent looking, like, you know, really a palace. So you can take a ride, take a look at all these Circle Line stations. Believe me, you will love it. And of course, another reason, because it's very fast. The accuracy is just insane, 99.90%. Every 90 seconds a new train comes. So you really don't need to lose the time. Moscow Metro is very clean, it's very cheap. One ride is just about 50 rubles. But if you use this transport card that is called Troika, one ride will be just 38 rubles, which is, you know, really nothing. I mean, it's very affordable, it's very beautiful, it's clean. So why not to use Moscow Metro? Please keep in mind that the busiest and rush hour in Moscow Metro starts in the morning, starts from 7:30 up to, I would say, 8:30, and in the night time from 6 or even 5:30 up to 8:30. So this is the time you don't need to squeeze yourself into this overpack. Moving to currency, the official currency in the Russian Federation is ruble, and you can also use cards. That's what I do when I travel. We are totally friendly towards using all these PayPass. You can use your watch to pay things and goods here. All the restaurants, all the bars, all the shops, they are fine with cards. That's what I recommend you to do. But also, you also need to have some cash in rubles, in local currency, because maybe you would like to go to some local markets for food, for groceries, or if you plan to go to Izmailovo flea market, the place where all the souvenirs are on the cheapest side in Moscow ever. And if you plan to do that, it's better that you have some cash. ATMs are available all over Moscow, in banks, in hotels, in shopping centers, even in Moscow Metro. So you will definitely find some spots to withdraw cash. Or if you would like to use your credit card, it's still totally fine here. So you're not about bringing, you know, these huge pockets of cash with you. You're fine using a card. Moving to some safety rules and tips and tricks for you. First, you need to carry a photocopy of your passport, visa, and registration on you, because Russian police have a right to stop you for an ID check. And never hand some money, give some money to Russian policemen, because it's a very serious crime in our country. Smoking and drinking alcohol in the public is forbidden in Russia, so just do not do that or you are risking to be caught. Also, Russian drivers and those who drive a car here in Russia are not allowed to drink any sort, any type, any amount of alcohol. You would like to try some vodka here. Please stick to more pricey sorts of vodka, because it still can be vodka poisoning topic and issue here. So if you're at the bar or you're buying a bottle of vodka as a present or a souvenir, just make sure to find the priciest, or at least not on the most affordable like price range. So the best brands for vodka here are Beluga, Russian Standard. They are, I can relate. I mean, I'm not that huge vodka drinker, well, not anymore. Back at my university days, I was having some fun at the bars with vodka, but not anymore. I'm a parent now, so I don't have time. Make sure if you go to the bar or nightclub, or you're somewhere in the groceries and you would like to buy a bottle of vodka as a souvenir, please stick to more like pricey brands. Now let's talk about the language and language barrier here. So the official language in our country is Russian, but English is getting more and more popular, especially among youngsters and millennials. So if you need to find some help, if you would like to ask a local for some, where to go, what should I do, if you're confused, please, you better find some youngster, then you'll probably get some help, because older generations that they can be more shy, or they simply won't understand you here. So it's not about being hostile, it's just that people do not won't understand you. So if you need some help here in Moscow or some other, again, Russian city, I'm talking about Moscow all the time simply because this is my native city. I work here as a tour guide, and I'm used to this word like Moscow travel, Moscow, all about Moscow, but I mean every other Russian cities. But actually Moscow is better than in some other Russian cities because it's so tourist attractive city, and a lot of people in bars, in restaurants, and the cafes, and at the airport, English speaking here. But if you're confused in some public like area in transport, just make sure to find a youngster, and they will definitely help you. We are not that hostile, we are really friendly. Sometimes we can be a bit shy with foreigners, but it's fine. You will be offered with English menu at all the restaurants, especially in the city center. And using metro, you will notice that they replicate the station both in Russian and English, which is very helpful. You will find all the captions of the stations and the lines of the metro, I mean radio and circle. You will find both in Russian and very helpful. You won't get confused at the airport. Everyone speaks English, so don't be afraid, don't be anxious. And if it so happens that you won't find something in English, you can definitely ask local. Just make sure that a guy or a girl is more younger. Don't be afraid. Russians are friendly and welcoming people. Thank you so much for watching my video, and if you have some other questions about you would like to ask about traveling to Moscow or Russia in general, just make sure to put your comment down below. And obviously I'm recording some new videos in the future covering more and more info about traveling around Russia, traveling to Moscow, and that just really makes me happy because I can bust all these myths about Russians. I can cover all these useful tips and tricks for you guys, and seeing you in my next videos. Bye bye.